Hello everybody, I'm Mark Builds It, and in this video we're going to go over the basics on what wallets are, specifically the MetaMask wallet app, and how you can get it installed and set up on your system so that you can use it to play the FWeb 3 game. So the first thing you need to do if you haven't already installed and set up MetaMask is go out to the MetaMask website. Their address is metamask.io. So I highly recommend that you start directly from their website to download any plugins or apps, because there is a slim chance that you could be downloading a malicious clone. So I go directly to metamask.io. I'm going to click on the download button. And MetaMask supports any Chrome-based browser, so that's going to be Chrome, Brave, Edge, and they also have support for Firefox. You can also download the MetaMask app directly to a mobile device on both iOS and Android. So if you have a desktop and you have a mobile device and you're not sure whether you should choose one or the other, there are a few differences in the workflow of the two different apps. On the desktop, the MetaMask plugin allows you to stay in the browser that you prefer. So as long as it's a Chrome or Chrome-based browser or Firefox, you can use MetaMask inside the browser window. So if you decide you need to link to something, you would just click on the little fox up here, click connect if it's asking you for you to connect, and then the little pop-up window will go away. If you are interacting with apps in your mobile device, the workflow isn't quite as smooth. If you're using your preferred browser there, it'll ask you to connect a wallet. You'll have to leave that app, go into the MetaMask app, and to approve the transaction. Sometimes it'll, instead of opening the app, it takes you to your app store and asks you to open it from there. It's kind of a clunky workflow. So the way MetaMask has worked around that is they've built a browser directly into the MetaMask app. So if you're going to an application, or let's say you're going to mint an NFT on the day that it mints, I would just, what my habit is to just go directly into the browser inside the MetaMask app, go to that site and connect that way, and I can complete the transaction completely inside one application. The other major difference between the desktop app and the mobile app is currently, as of today, which is April of 2020, the desktop MetaMask plugin does not support NFTs. So you can see the transactions for your NFTs, but you can't actually display them in the app. You have to go to some place like OpenSea to see the NFTs that you might have bought. If you're using the mobile app, there actually is an NFT tab. You can switch there, and if they are, depending upon the NFT, it'll already be there in the app, or you can go and find the address for the NFT and you can add it so that it shows up in the app. And we'll go over all that as part of this course. So in this little demo, I'm going to be doing Firefox on my desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it's asking if it's okay to add to Firefox, and it is. Okay, the next thing it's going to do is asking me, is it okay to add this to this extension to Firefox? And I'm going to say that it's okay. Okay, so it's downloaded and now it has appeared up here in my little menu bar. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the fox and click Get Started. Okay, so here's your first choice. Do you have a recovery phrase from an existing account, or are you setting up a new one? And we are actually setting up a new one. So I'm going to click on Create Wallet. Okay, so this page here just kind of tells you what to expect from MetaMask. I recommend you read through it. I've read it before. I'm just going to go ahead and click Agree. Okay, so this is the first thing that you're going to need to write down on a piece of notepaper. You are definitely going to need to have some sort of scrap of paper to write this information down on, and you're going to need to be able to take that and put it in a safe place, so a little firebox or a safe if you have one. But the first step is to is to create a password. So this password allows you to lock and unlock your wallet within this machine's copy of Firefox or whatever browser you have. And this password is essentially going to be protecting your seed phrase, which we'll get to next. So it's really important that you keep this secure. If you don't have your browser passwords encrypted, you should search for, go to the website for the browser you're using, search, protect my passwords on Firefox or on Brave, and they'll show you how to lock down and encrypt your passwords. If you don't do that, you're essentially leaving your wallet open for anybody to access. So this account that I'm creating, this wallet account, is going to be what I would call a burner account. I am never going to use this account again. I'm only doing this to show you how it looks when it sets up. So I'm going to be breaking a whole bunch of rules. And the first one is I'm going to just make my password. Don't do this. Definitely use a more secure password than that. But once I'm done with this demo, I'm going to delete this wallet and I'm never going to see it again. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Okay, no username. Probably want to add a username, so we're just going to call it burner. Okay, so now it's asking to save this password inside my browser, which is Firefox. So this is Firefox asking for this. Your browser will probably ask you the same thing if you've enabled it to save your logins to make it a little easier to get in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, click saved. Okay, so now it wants me to watch a video, and it's not working with my browser for some reason. Let's click on this and see. So for some reason, it's not playing in my app window, but this is just sort of a little primer on security and keeping your seed phrase secure. There's a lot of great tips over here. The key thing is this seed phrase, this 12-word phrase that you're going to see in the next screen, is something you should never ever show to anyone else. Never allow it to be screen captured. Never give it out over the phone or over the internet. That is for your eyes only. The only time you should ever need this phrase again is when you have to restore this account inside of MetaMask or any other Ethereum wallet provider. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. All right, so this is going to be my secret recovery phrase. So behind this little window, it's going to show me my 12-word seed phrase. And this is, this is the thing that's the most precious in crypto. You don't want anybody to see this. So right now I'm going to break the rule and I'm going to reveal my secret words. Okay, so these are the 12 words that I can use to restore this account anywhere I go. And so I'm going to go ahead and write these down. It's important to keep them in order. Okay, I've got them written down, and I'm going to do another, I'm going to show this pad to the screen. When you're writing these words down, you want to make sure that you are out of view of other cameras, that you are out of view of other people. If anyone has this seed phrase, they own this account, and they can empty it at any time. So you want to be as cautious and paranoid about these words as you can be. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Okay, so it gives me a list of words to choose from, and it's just asking that I give the seed phrase back to make sure I have it correct. So I'm going to go through and click on my words. Click confirm. Okay, so here are some tips on how to store the seed phrase and when you should use it. Definitely recommend reading these and following the instructions. I'm going to hit all done. Okay, here's MetaMask telling me how they're making my experience better. It's still a little clunky, but it does get better with time. And one thing I want to do is go back to the point where we were allowed to see our seed phrase for the first time. If you look at the bottom of the window, there's a button that says "Show me later." I don't recommend doing this. I suppose if you are in a place where you don't feel safe writing down your seed phrase, it's okay to wait, but that password that you entered to protect your account, it only works for this browser on this machine or this device. you can't take your password that you created to another computer and load it into MetaMask. It's not going to link up your account with that password. It only works locally. So I highly recommend that you wait for a time when you have privacy and you go ahead and generate that seed phrase, take a look at it, write it down, hide it away, and go through the process that we just went through here. All right, so this is the main MetaMask window. This gives you sort of a dashboard for your account. Up here, if you click on this button, it'll copy what is known as your public address to your clipboard on your computer, so that if you need to paste it into a field to receive money for something or to purchase an NFT, that's the public address. That's the publicly available number that is tied to this account. Up here behind this little circle, you have some options where you can create another account. That account would be tied to the seed phrase for this account. So that's a great way to, that can be a good feature if you're buying an NFT or linking to an application with a wallet that you don't quite trust. You can jump over to like a second dummy account and you can use that to gain access to the app. And then, if you feel like you can trust it, you can disconnect and reconnect with your main account and use any ETH or other resources that you have in that account to make a purchase or to unlock features with something like an NFT. You can also import a new account here. It's going to ask for the private key for that account. That information would be found under account details. So if I click export private key and I enter the password for my MetaMask wallet account on this computer, it'll reveal a long string of numbers, and those are the numbers that I would use to import into my account. You can also use MetaMask to connect through a hardware wallet, but that's not something we're going to cover in this demo. Another thing you can do here is lock this account. So if you are online and you're interacting with different websites that require a wallet connect, and then you're ready to walk away and go do something else, you can hit lock, and then it will require your MetaMask password to unlock the wallet for the next session. So that's handy if you live in a place where other people might have access to your computer and you just want to make sure nobody accidentally or on purpose does a transaction that you don't want to authorize. So that's an important feature if you need it. There are some other buttons here that we will use in the process of playing the FWeb3 game, but we're not going to cover them here today. You can also click on activity and see this kind of pulls the account and shows all the things that have happened with this account, but because it's brand new, we don't have any activity. One of the things that was really empowering to me once I realized it was the fact that you can completely delete MetaMask off of any device and you don't lose your account. The seed phrase is what gives you access to your account. So you can use that seed phrase to restore the account on any wallet. It could be MetaMask, it could be Rainbow Wallet, as long as it's a wallet that works with the Ethereum virtual machine or it's EVM compatible machine, you can restore that account in that wallet app. So just for instance, if I was to accidentally delete MetaMask, it's going to say, hey, if you delete this app, it's removing all the information that's associated with it. I'm going to do it. Okay, so it's gone. All right, so I no longer have MetaMask on this device. The first time I did this, it was terrifying. I thought, okay, when I restore this account, is the money that's in it going to be there? And the important thing to remember with wallets is the application doesn't store any of the value. It's not, the money that's in the account is not in the app. It's just associated with that account number on the blockchain. So as long as you can reestablish your ownership of that account, then everything is still secure. So I'm going to use my web browser. I'm going to go out to metamask.io. I always try to start directly from the source. and I'm going to click on download. It knows that I'm using iOS, so I'm going to click on install MetaMask. That's going to take me to the App Store, and now I know for sure that this MetaMask app is the right MetaMask app. I can't be fooled by a bad actor. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the download. And this is going to take a minute, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, here we go. Let's open up the app. Okay, so this is a brand new fresh install. It's going to ask me to get started. I'll click on that. All right, now I have two choices. I can create a new wallet, and the process for that is almost exactly like the desktop version I just showed you. You'll have to enter a password. You'll have to generate a seed phrase and write it down. So you can go through those steps if you need to. What I'm doing here is kind of showing you the process of restoring an account once you've deleted it. I'm going to select import using secret recovery phrase. It's the same little warning about what MetaMask will and will not do. I'm going to go up here and enter my recovery phrase. So that is the 12-word phrase that I just showed you that you are never supposed to do for anyone else. Always keep this secret. I'm going to punch it in here with spaces in between each word, and I'm going to make sure I do it in the correct order. Okay, and now it's asking me for a password. So if you created a password on the desktop version of the app, you could enter the same password here and it would be saved, but you could also have two separate passwords. Like I said before, the password is completely local to the device that you're using. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the worst password in the world, which is password. And it's warning me that this is a weak password. That's okay. I'm not going to use this account for anything other than showing you in this demo. So I'll hit next. Oop, passwords don't match. I was talking and made an error. Okay, passwords match. I'm also going to let the app unlock with my face. So I'm going to go ahead and click import. It says, do I want to allow it to use Face ID? I will. Okay, so now it offers to give me a tour. If you've never used the mobile app before, I recommend you do that. I'm going to hit no thanks. All right, so this is the same account with the same public address that I had on the desktop version. If there was any money in here, I would see it pop up. And now you'll notice I have an NFT tab. So if I owned an NFT in this account, if I held it in this account, it would show up here as well. You have some settings here on the side that you can use. We'll get into that as you need them for the exercises in the bootcamp. But that should get you up and running. I highly recommend to make yourself comfortable with the process that you create your account, write down your seed phrase, write down that public address. You can see it if you click up here. If you click on share my public address, it pops up here on this screen. So you can write down that number. You can also, in the desktop version, you can find out what that is by copying it and then just pasting it into a text editor, and you'll see the full string. But go ahead and write down that full string, then delete the plugin from your computer or uninstall it from your phone, re-download it, and then restore that account using your seed phrase and verify that the public address is exactly the same. Doing that will go a long way to becoming more comfortable with how wallets work, how accounts work, and allow you to trust in the fact that if you accidentally delete it or get locked out, as long as you have this seed phrase, you can restore the account anywhere in the world on any computer that's connected to an EVM machine.